For more information, visit LCDCexamreview.com. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this presentation, I will share some study tips to prepare more effectively for the certification exam for alcohol and drug counselors. This exam was first offered in February of this year, so let's get started. When preparing for this exam, and especially if you already took the previous exam and now you need to retake it because you didn't get a passing score, you need to take two things into consideration. You may not perform as well as you want or expect on this exam for two reasons. One, insufficient mastery of the material, and two, difficulty with taking exams of this kind. So here are some study tips. Aim for quality of study time, not just quantity. Information makes it into long-term memory when its meaning is understood. We understand things better when we take our time to allow our brain to process the information. It is more efficient to spend one thoughtful hour of learning material than 5 hours repeatedly skimming it. So study to learn the material and understand it, and not just to memorize it. Study the right material. The topics covered on the exam are not a secret. You can find out exactly what you need to study for this test by consulting the candidate guide for the IC&RC Alcohol and Drug Counselor Examination 2015. It is wise to balance the attention given to each area of the exam. You might need to study a little bit more for the theories of counseling than for the 4 performance domains. So it really depends on you. You might need to spend more time reviewing the information for the pharmacology of addiction, all the drugs and the effects, and less time studying for the case study. It really depends on each individual person. You can also visit my blog at lcdcexamreview.com for a brief summary of each topic and more recommended resources. Personal experience is not enough. It is not enough with knowing the 12 steps and having experience as a person in recovery to pass the exam. It's also not enough with work experience in the field of substance abuse counseling, because the certification exam measures your competency. In other words, it measures your ability to perform those skills effectively. So you might be really good at conducting screenings and assessments, but you also need to know what motivational interviewing is and how and when to use it. Create a reasonable study plan. Divide the material into topics. Study only one topic per study session. Study for small blocks of time, 1 or 2 hours, over several weeks. Studying small chunks of material over a long period of time, known as distributed practice, brings better results in learning than mass practice, also known as cramming. Of course, some people say that they perform well on exams when they cram or study under pressure. But think about this, they do well probably because they already knew the material before their cram session. So if you already learned the material, looking over it again at the last minute seems pretty simple task. But waiting until the last minute to learn new material is a risky and ineffective strategy. Make emotions work for you. Passing this exam is not just about what you know, but also about how you handle the test-taking experience. Some anxiety and anticipation of taking the exam is normal, and you can use it as the energy directed toward preparing for it. Repeat the self-messages in your head. I have every reason to expect to perform well on this test. My well-organized study and positive attitude are preparing me effectively for this test. I am not going to be asked about everything in the drug and alcohol counseling field. I do not have to answer 100% of the items correctly, and this is only one of many challenges in my career. I can do this. Join a study group. This suggestion is not for everyone. It really depends on your learning style, and if you can study with other people, it can be enjoyable and helpful. But if you usually study alone, and if you get distracted easily, then this is not for you, but you can give it a try. Practice answering multiple choice items. Becoming familiar with answering multiple choice questions can make the exam go more smoothly. However, do not rely on practice quizzes as your only resource to prepare for the exam. Practice quizzes don't give you the actual questions on the exam, nor do they guarantee you a passing score. They do help you in practicing how to read and answer multiple choice questions. But caution, those multiple choice questions might be in the form of one correct answer and three incorrect answers, which is not the format of all of the questions on the test. Multiple choice questions on the exam have one best answer and three distractors, which I have mentioned before. The distractors could be possible correct answers. So do not waste your money on practice tests because you do not want to get used to answering questions that have only one correct answer. Use the practice test to become familiar with multiple choice questions, but keep in mind that you have to be familiar with the information and know the material well. This is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and visit my website, LCDCexamreview.com. You can leave me your comments or questions if you want me to make a video or presentation about specific topics. And thank you very much.